To build anything that truly lasts, it takes time.
Well, today we have a very special guest here on the ET Now floors. There's a biography on him, and surely, why not? It's a life which needs to be celebrated. Please join me in welcoming none other than the MD and CEO of the National Stock Exchange, Mr. Ashish Chauhan. Ashish Chauhan, thank you so much for taking the time out and joining in. Looking back, the boy from IIT Bombay, IIM Calcutta, to now this glorious journey that you've had, and now you have a book on your life as well. How does it feel?
No, I think it's life as usual. Basically, the book is not written by me, somebody else has written, and the book kind of captures some portion of my journey from childhood. So in a way, it's kind of deja vu, but with somebody else's perspective.
Absolutely. But it must feel special, right? You have a legacy, and now you have a documented legacy.
Yeah, why not? And I mean, in some ways, you feel a little different when somebody or some book comes on your life. I have written a book on Bombay Stock Exchange, the Temple of Wealth Creation. At the time, BSE was 140-year-old. And so when you write a book, of course, you need to do a lot of research and come with a lot of facts and remove the facts from the fiction and things like that. And so it's a hard work, and somebody has done it for me. I'm delighted and also grateful.
Absolutely. And it gives us so much of a peek into your life and how you have gone from strength to strength. I mean, and what a glorious past you've had. BSE, IPL, and now at the helm at the largest stock exchange, National Stock Exchange as well.
In a way, my sort of life in stock market started with NSE. I was a part of the team that set up NSE originally, and most of the IT, most of what you consider as NSE now, including screen-based trading or Nifty or derivatives, were in a way reporting to me. So NSE is still, after so many years, almost 34 years since I started working on NSE, is still the first achievement and probably the largest I will ever have.
Absolutely. That's the feather in your cap. But let's talk about the book a little bit. And I was very intrigued by the concept itself, Sthitapragya, rooted in the Bhagavad Gita. What does it mean?
In a way, Sthitapragya is basically in the closest English word that comes. It's a very spiritual word in Bhagavad Gita. Stoic with spirituality. So a person who is not happy in happiness and person who is not sad in sorrow. So a person who is in equilibrium, who is always balanced. And so you continue doing your work. And that is also the philosophy of Sthitapragya. Means the pragya is the knowledge. Sthita means steady. The steady knowledge. The person who is steady in the knowledge is Sthitapragya. And in a way, you continue to do your work without being elated or being in a sort of a sorrowful state, and continue your duties. That is what it means.
And that defines Ashish Chauhan?
No, according to...
And Pragya, steady knowledge?
According to the author, right? So that's how I would put it.
Right. But, you know, I want to talk about जैसी आपकी journey रही है. Like you said, you know, you first were part of the formative years of the National Stock Exchange. 30 years की journey. From there, did you ever imagine that today the National Stock Exchange would be what it is?
The first time when I was told to shift, I was a project finance officer in IDBI in 1991. I joined 91 after college at IIM. And I was basically doing project finance means you need to do a lot of projections of future cash flows and other things for companies. And so I was one of the young ones. That time computers.
आपके पास वो Excel sheet है जहाँ पे आपने NSE का future projection बनाया था?
I did that too, but before that, and I mean, IDBI and India did not have computers, so IDBI bought computers.
Wow.
And so people started going on strike. All officers and employees went on strike, saying computers will take our jobs. And so in that, I was just out of college, and I started doing. Those time Lotus 1, 2, 3 was there, and my other colleagues would take a month to create those spreadsheets. I would do it in. Once I have prepared, it will take me a few seconds to change the projections, and that was like magic. So my bosses started thinking that I am good at IT, while I was actually not an IT engineer. I was a mechanical engineer
Okay.
who knew how to do Lotus 1, 2, 3 or Excel sheet, what we call now, right? So, but when NSE had to be set up, they needed, after the initial team, I think one of them dropped out. So they needed a young person who was engineer, who knew IT, and who will not say no. That was me, right? So that is how life sometimes happens through serendipity. So I was moved from 9th floor to 19th floor, and for me it was just another job. I had no idea of how life would pan out later on, but it has worked out well.
So from that upgrade of 9th to 19th floor, which floor are you headed in next?
Now, of course, I am on 7th floor of NSE, but life takes you up and down, and I have seen my share. Of course, when you write books like this, you don't write the not so glorious parts, but naturally every life has its own ups and downs, and we need to be acutely aware that what you read is only a small fraction of trials and tribulations people go through, and that has been the case. When I come from a Gujarati medium school who did not know English, so IIT went into just learning English instead of engineering and things like that, and so everyone goes through their own, and I don't see no life which is without its own internal struggles, even if you think that it is rich in many other ways.
Yeah, that's just an outside perception that people have of you. But I want to talk about the now, जैसे कि आपने बोला, that nothing comes with its shares of ups and downs. And that's exactly what the market is, right? And I remember very close to the book launch when I met you at the National Stock Exchange, you said that the markets are like a love relationship. There will be the fights, there will be the ups, and there will be the highs. And that's exactly how the market as well is. Where do you think the market is headed next? इतना challenges है, tariffs पे uncertainty अभी भी चल रही है, there is earnings softness, lot of question marks being raised upon when the rural recovery will actually come, even though the RBI has fired all guns blazing. Where do you think the economy is headed?
In a way, why things happen, there are reasons, and why things will happen, there are reasons, right? And so for me, if you look at overall the situation where we are standing, the world is softening for a variety of reasons because of the, of course, tariff war. But then the tariff war is an outcome of a long drawn movement away of manufacturing into China and services into India from the rest of the world, right? So in that context, the rich countries of the West are feeling slightly poorer, and they are asking that if you want to access my market, you need to pay tariffs, which is, of course, in a way, recessionary because it brings down demands, it increases prices. And that's where last year, when things started being talked about, people should have realized. At the same time, and so there is going to be an impact of that longer term trend. The second trend, which we have not discussed because it happens over 20, 30 years, so life goes through a lot of other noise, so we don't look at that signal, is demographics, that the world is becoming old. Other than India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, broadly, rest of the world is getting older. From Japan to China to Europe to US. It's decisively older demographics bringing down the demand. But it will bring demand up for the hospitals and healthcare and many other things. So you need to understand where the life is going to go. And the third a long-term trend is technology. That technology is the only thing which changes the world. And the technology that has changed over last 30 years has also changed India decisively. It has made India what it is today, the world power in services, information technology, and it's also going to take India up because of the same reason that the changes in technology are going to come even faster. And India being the youngest, highly technology-oriented country compared to our neighbors or other younger nations, and of course we are a very large market ourselves. So overall, on a scale of 25, 30, 50 years, India has a great, glorious future. In fact, I many times say that in 1,000 years, when technology race was run, we were not even in the stadium.
Yeah.
Now we are at the front line, and today we have a chance to become rich before we become old. Because we will also become old as a society by 2100. But before that, we should all work hard to become rich. Within that, the geopolitics, which is happening, people who have a lot of money, they feel slightly poorer, they start coming after the poorer countries saying why you are coming up. And those things will continue. We have to mend our ways. We have to ensure that we are good with people who have money, who need us. We learn from them. We bring ourselves up. And of course, maintain our dignity in terms of negotiations and all. And that's what, in that context, I think today, what we call bilaterals, the era of bilaterals has started with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Before that, last 50, 60, 70 years, where the era of multilaterals. And multilaterals had given very little importance to India. The bilaterals are now a situation where we are being given importance because we are important. Now we are fourth largest economy. We are also up and coming economy. We are highly technology-oriented economy. So people will have to give us importance. And many times I say that when now the new geopolitics is defined, India will be counted. We were not. In fact, when World War II got over and the Bretton Woods was called, our economists also went, but as a part of the British Empire, because we had not become independent then, right? So for me, the post-World War II multilateral systems of World Bank and UN and WTO and every other thing, WHO, is actually now becoming more irrelevant in a way because of the way the new situation has evolved. But the bilaterals is where we just signed bilateral with...
You were part of the Prime Minister's contingent.
Right, and UK, and that tells you that now India is able to kind of ask for each pound of flesh. And for me, so if you look at, say, 20, 30, 50 years time horizon, there is nothing better than India. And we have seen it in last 30 years. So many times markets have gone up and gone down. But average, we have given the growth of 6.5%, 7%. On rupee terms, we have given CAGR of almost 12, 13%. In dollar terms, we are 1% higher than S&P 500 in those 30 years. So we have done wonderfully well in last 30 years. But I think next 30 years would be, or till what Modi ji says, 2047,
Yes.
Dixit Bharat, we would be doing immensely well compared to the rest of the world.
But what is the message, Ashish ji, for retail investors? Because they get affected by the noise, they get affected by all the headlines, and also get affected by the lofty valuations. I understand that in the long term, there's a reason why India will continue to command that premium. But in the near term, does that work well for retail participants?
For me, the retail participants are of two types. One is what I call retail traders, and other is what I call retail investors. Investors would not watch this show or next to next show and try to decide what to trade, what not to trade. The retail investors would be investing for long term, and if they do not have time because they have other jobs and they have savings, they would rather invest through mutual funds or portfolio managers or advisors and things like that, because those are experts and they should go through them and not trade in derivatives. Then there are a class of people who are basically retail investors or retail traders who would try to take every signal, like what Donald Trump has said, China how many times, and they'll try to sell or buy. Or so for me, it's not only retail guys who do it. There are professionals also who do it. There are algorithms which pick up all those things now and start trading. But that is what I call trading on the noise.
IDFC First